Dirty Sports Podcast. I said, welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy Ruther and Joe Praino. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Port Hueneme, California, Joey No Chill Praino.
Hello, Andy.
I was thinking we might need to change the show to Two Guys, Two Beards.
Two guys, two beards.
Two guys, two beards, talking more than two sports. Maybe a little too long there.
Well, today it's two guys, two beards talking two games.
Exactly. There we go.
There you go.
The more I thought about what you said last episode, the more I felt myself in total agreement leading up to yesterday. I was like, Joe's totally right on this. Championship Sunday.
Yeah.
Like there's kind of it's not even close, to be honest, for me. It's better than the Super Bowl.
And, the thing with the NFL playoffs, and we've talked about it, especially this year with the addition now of Monday Night Football playoffs and whatever, they could easily do a Saturday and a Sunday. Because with 2 weeks out, it really wouldn't matter at all, one team having 13 days or the other team having 14, but they don't. They do Championship Sunday. They've done Championship Sunday my whole life. And I love it. I think it's significantly, again, there's so much around the Super Bowl with the commercials and the hoopla and the whatever.
Performers,
the
music.
halftime show, the game, everything's longer. It feels different than a typical NFL Sunday. This is a typical NFL Sunday, kind of the same it's not morning and afternoon game, but it's even kind of better. It's like a little later in the day. For me, it was noon and 3:30 yesterday. Mwah, chef's kiss. And the highest level of football and your chance to go to the Super Bowl, which ends obviously with hats and trophies and, all the same things that the Super Bowl does, but without anybody being like, sports ball, cool. Did somebody bring queso?
I also found myself, you just alluded to it. I found myself on Saturday being like, wouldn't this maybe, and maybe it wouldn't. I was like, wouldn't this maybe help to get even more eyeballs if you broke it down? I don't know. I felt myself on Saturday being like, man, I just would like, a game today, like a game tonight. What if we did 2 primetime 8 p.m. Eastern time games, back-to-back Saturday, Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
I guess the argument, again, like you're saying, they'll be like, well, they get an extra day, a day less rest before that game, and a day more before the Super Bowl, which, whatever.
Yeah, I don't think it matters 2 weeks out, but I don't know. I think that they maybe also care about the tradition of Championship Sunday, which I'm glad they do. I like it.
One of the few things the NFL actually cares about.
And by the way, a 3:30 start, which I guess would be a 6:30 start your time, or a 4 o'clock start, which is 7 o'clock start your time. That's way preferable to me than even doing the 5:20 prime time game. On a Sunday, it wouldn't matter, but on a Saturday, people all do go out and do some stuff on Saturday nights. In fact, I had a comedy show on Saturday night, so I unfortunately couldn't watch Geese on SNL live because it airs here at like 8:30 or whatever. And I was like, I can't believe I got to be out doing a fucking show right now.
Dude, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Geese?
Only the best new band in a long time.
You said that, and I was
only the best new band in a long time.
I literally have no clue.
Yeah, a lot of people don't, and I think a lot of people probably, found out. It was great, and I got on social media after and looked up the reaction, to their performance on Saturday Night Live, and people are like, "Well, this is the worst shit I've ever heard." And I was like, "Let's go."
But like, what is a performance on Saturday Night Live though? Let me ask you that. Like, what is that?
These days or just generally?
Both.
I mean, I think it's still there far more people. It's a mainstream. It's just mainstream. Whatever you think about it, it's mainstream. And these days, there's a lot of music. I feel like everything is so niche. We used to have radio that would put a band into the mainstream, or MTV that would put a band in the mainstream, or VH1 that would put a band in the mainstream, or whatever. Now, no one really. There's no singular thing.
Would it be social media?
Yeah, but everybody's social media is a niche algorithm to them. Like, Andy, you're going, this kind of proves the point. You're going, who the fuck is Geese? My algorithm on Instagram is Japan stuff, snowboarding stuff, Geese memes. Like, it's like top 3 things that comes up on my Instagram. So like, you have no idea. I'm bombarded with it because that's social media these days.
Exactly. So, and conversely, you're not getting all the parent dad meme and dad jokes that I'm getting. So yeah, no, I get it. We do live in our own little bubbles with the algorithm. That makes sense. That totally makes sense. I don't know. I was just missing, which again, your point holds, but I was missing football on Saturday. And then I was like, the anticipation to get to 3:30, because we obviously were hit with a lot of snow here. So I was like, okay, we're not leaving the house. Started early. Was thinking of Lachlan, by the way. Lachlan was in town headlining. I got to reach out to him. Tough weekend.
Yeah, I'm sure. Lachlan also just lost his dad.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. So
damn.
I talked to him recently, and he was in Canada dealing with that. Was like, I'm going to be home for like 12 hours, and then I got to ship out to Cincinnati. And I was like, bro, that sucks. And all I was thinking, I don't know if he was thinking, and maybe, some people handle these things different. Some people want to get their mind off it or whatever. But from my perspective, I was like, man, I hope that snow cancels his show so he just doesn't have to go to Cincinnati.
Yeah,
but he did go to Cincinnati, and he was there. I saw that on his Instagram. But I hope he's hanging in there. His dad, fantastic dude. Sorry to hear about the news.
Yeah, that is bad news. I got to reach out to him. That sucks, man.
Not to bring the show down. Sorry.
No, I appreciate you sharing. It's good to know. I mean, you obviously, you and I have both been through it, and it's like, I always say, I don't know if you felt this way. I always say, on a serious note, I always remember the people who reached out to me. And conversely, not to harp on the negative, the people who I knew and didn't. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like I focus more on the pleasant surprise people, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, oh, that was a girl I dated for like 2 months back and whenever. That was very nice of her to send me a text. Anyway, well, I will definitely reach out to him. Yeah, we got hit pretty hard, and obviously there was I didn't even know these existed. I saw there was a snow emergency last night at 6 p.m. Stage 3, and they're like, you can be cited for being out. Like, they need to just clear the roads. I didn't know this existed. They're like, yeah, it's only like for people's jobs or whatever. They're like, you just can't be on the roads because they're so bad. They need to just clean up, right? Just stick your asses inside. So I was just sitting at home, hanging on to every play, texting you, especially during that Rams Seahawks game. It didn't end the way I had hoped. And here we are. Like, I don't know. I've been trying to process I think storyline wise, I think the Rams would have been a better Super Bowl. Darnold is obviously an interesting storyline, but I don't know. And I'm obviously biased because I was rooting for the Rams, though.
Yeah. I had really, we can start with the early game yesterday and then go into the late one. But I really I would say I had no rooting interest for Broncos Pats, but found myself rooting for the Pats because I hate Sean Payton. And
conversely, you like the other coach, so
I like Vrabel. But I was saying in a group chat I have, I hope whoever wins the NFC beats the shit out of them, because I'm not rooting for the Pats to win a Super Bowl. That just comes with, and what's funny is we're now at a point where it's like, I don't really care about either of these teams or any of the players. Like, I don't have even guys that were former Giants or played or like no one on either of these teams that made the Super Bowl, whatever. So it literally just comes down to the fan bases for me. And I'm like, I don't have great interactions with Seattle fans generally. But maybe some of them are waking up to, or maybe not. Maybe they all think Sam Darnold's a top 5 quarterback now. I don't know. But Pats fans, come on. I'm not rooting for Pats fans. Sorry, guys.
Well, it is wild to think that they're back already. And I'm sure you saw there was nonstop memes about, oh, finally it's not the Chiefs. Finally it's not the Chiefs. And it's like, well, it's the team before the Chiefs. And here we are again. Look, that was an ugly game. I'm sure a lot of people didn't enjoy it. 10-7 game, low scoring, and then obviously
I enjoy the weather. I enjoy snow.
I do too.
I like that when it's a factor. That's part of home field advantage, and that's part. Now both of these are kind of cold weather teams. Not that Drake May or whatever has a ton of experience playing. It's not like he's Tom Brady and he's in his 15th year of playing playoff games in the snow or whatever. But Tom Brady also never won in Denver in the playoffs. So I like the snow as a factor. What's crazy is there's a little bit of the snow coming into play where you're like, this should help the team with the worst quarterback because it'll level the playing field a little bit, but it didn't.
Yeah, you would think. By the way, quick fun stat I saw talking about the snow and the outdoor elements. This was the first postseason since the 2002 season, regular season, 2003 postseason, without a playoff game indoors.
Wow.
I mean, it's just, which doesn't surprise me, goes to show. So what? It's been 23 years that we've had all outdoor playoff games. Which I don't know, man. I'm like, I like that. That lines up. There was the most fourth quarter comebacks ever. This postseason lines up. Like, there was a lot of good things that were lining up. And I agree with you. It should have benefited the team with the worst quarterback. It's almost like Sean Payton, and we'll obviously get to the press conference clip, but it's almost like Sean Payton doesn't know how to adapt. You don't have Bo Nix, man. You got a guy who has barely started the last 3 seasons. It's like he almost didn't adapt his game plan, where conversely, Vrabel is going to adapt his game plan week to week, right? He comes from that Patriot mold where he played, right, for most of his career. I don't know. Like, people might say, oh, well, one's got a Super Bowl. I think the coaching matchup was not even close yesterday or going in, personally.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm king of the Sean Payton is overrated bandwagon. And listen, there's a little bit of this season that I have to walk that back, I would say, a tad, because, they're the 1 seed. But the counter to that is the Broncos have been pretty good defensively the last few years. They're certainly the 1 seed this year. If you could point to any reason that they were the 1 seed this year, it would be their defense. And then you get into a game that your defense plays great and you manage to game plan. You're Mr. Guru. You're Mr. Offensive Guy. And you game plan your offense to complete one long pass that essentially was the only reason that you scored any points in the game whatsoever. And otherwise, your backup quarterback, some really, really bad plays, especially the two-handed shove. What the fuck was that?
That was one of the worst plays I've ever seen.
And we can debate all the things, but it's like, no, that's one of those ones where it's like, I'm on the side of, and this is not because again, I don't really have any rooting interest. I'm not like, yeah, let's get the Pats to the Super Bowl. Like, I'm just watching that game kind of like, I guess I'm rooting for the Pats, but not really. Again, I'm rooting for a good game, rooting for overtime, rooting for, whatever, like rooting for it to be exciting. And I know a lot of people have broken down. It's like, bro, you're being tackled and you shove the ball at best sideways with two. Like, no, that's a fumble, dude.
Yeah, that was like, we've seen these plays throughout history, right? The just wildly boneheaded quarterback plays, and you're just going, what? Like, that's what that was. That was just like you said, points are going to come at a premium. The Patriots weren't doing anything. The Broncos D was playing great. They played great all game. That's the difference in the game.
Yep.
Right? Did they score a touchdown or a field goal?
A touchdown.
Okay, yeah. So that's the difference in the game.
Yeah. That and Sean Payton not kicking when he's playing what he knows is going to be a defensive game with a backup quarterback. That you and I don't agree on everything in terms of coaching stuff, and we'll get to the second game later because we disagree on one of the coaching calls in that game. This is a joke.
It's a no-brainer.
It's a joke. It's to me a precise reason why Sean Payton is overrated and not an elite coach, because not only was it dumb and a no-brainer to just kick it, but then his defense of it after the game, somebody asked him about, he didn't even answer the question.
Well, let's play the clip. And he gets in, he gets real deep into the football jargon. And in my opinion, he comes across so egotistical, so pompous, like basically, hey, reporter.
What's funny about this, and we're about to watch it, but it's kind of the reverse of what he did to the reporter last week.
Yeah, that's true.
Instead of just, hey, I just want to know, why didn't you kick? And last week he was like, are you excited to have this linebacker back? He's like, what do you know about downhill? What do you know about downhill?
Yeah,
now all of a sudden he's getting in the minutia of his play call instead of just saying, I should have kicked it there. Or here's why I didn't kick it there. You're doing the reverse. I fucking hate Sean Payton.
Yeah, he does do the reverse here. He gets real deep into football talk, so to speak, as if all these announcers
who he just said don't know football,
yes, are just so football savvy. And sorry, reporters, not announcers. So this is what he said about why they didn't kick. To take what, a 10-0 lead, correct, at the time?
Yeah, a 10-0 lead.
Which, as we know, momentum's huge. You're going against the guy, first AFC Championship game at Mile High, difficult place to play. All those things factor in.
Well, we ended up in a 6-1 front. They ended up playing in a heavy 6-1. There was a clock stoppage, so we had a nickel run called, and then I don't know if there was a timeout or they called one, but it's a slipper naked that we've run pretty well.
Oh yes, Joe. The slipper naked. We're all familiar with that, right?
They played a 6-1 front with a kind of a 2-deep shell, so the run look was going to be, hindsight, the initial sub run thought was a better decision.
You know what he is?
So, quick follow up here. That was a lot of nonsense. I'm actually asking a question of before you knew what front they were playing and before. Why didn't you just kick the field goal? I don't want to know how you felt about their defense when you decided not to kick the field goal. I'm just asking why you didn't kick the field goal. And if you could not use the word slipper naked, that would be great.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And again, he comes across as an egotistical coach that can't just. We saw this last week, conversely, with Sean McVay, who said, look, man, I called a bad game. Our defense bailed us out against the Bears. I called a shit game. You'll never hear that from Sean Payton. You'll never hear him taking onus or being humble and saying, yeah, I messed up. And I agree. Like, I'm happy they lost. Truthfully. And then I saw this. I'm going to pull up this. This was actually pretty cool. On the other side of the ball, about the genius of Mike Vrabel. Let me pull up this clip. I just added it. It's kind of interesting with the caption, and I think you'll agree. Where is this?
Obviously blending in.
Okay, so before I pull up the clip, we're at 2nd and 9. Denver has the ball on their own 33, 2:32 left in the game. This is what the caption says on Twitter. This is really, really good insight. Broncos subbed late on the Stidham INT in the fourth quarter. It allowed the Patriots to take their time and run the biggest D lineman on while the refs sat on the football and the clock kept ticking. You can feel the entire operation get hurried as far as the Broncos hurried. So this is kind of interesting. So, right, the Broncos sub, what they're saying is you should never sub here. Because then, right, the rules allow.
You sub, they sub. You sub, they can sub.
You sub, they can sub. Why don't I just make this full screen?
Okay.
So watch this, Praino. You can see the Patriots are ready to take as much time as possible, not only to take time off the clock, but basically where they have to snap it instantly, and then Stidham throws that awful pick. It's kind of fascinating to watch.
Obviously blending in with the snow.
Did you see enough on that replay?
Look, here's the big boys running in.
To go ahead and chuck it down the field?
If Mims
Look,
would
they're
have
taking their time.
widened,
Okay.
Once he went inside, I thought it was smart not to throw it. Great question.
2nd and 9. Rushing 5. This is a deep throw, and it is picked off. Intercepted.
And look, I'm not saying that caused the pick, but you can see.
No, what caused the pick is such an awful fucking decision on it and a 12-yard underthrown ball. For
sure. But my point is, I mean, those D linemen aren't set until 3 seconds on the play. It was just like, again, Vrabel is known for this, for good clock management, and known for, wasn't he like the first one that, I'm sure it had happened before, that we saw where he didn't take the penalty? I think wasn't it against actually Belichick, and it got all the headlines like,
yeah,
he out Belichicked Belichick on the rules. And that's why he's a good coach, man. And you knew, you talk about game plan, you knew going in, Vrabel again was like, look, man, Broncos D is going to come ready to play. We just have to make a couple more plays than them. And they did.
And we just have to get a couple turnovers from a quarterback who hasn't started a game in, 700 days or whatever.
Yeah. and it worked. And here they are in this fucking Super Bowl. It's pretty insane. And I don't know, we'll talk obviously about Seattle, and I don't know how this is going to play out. Seattle's obviously the favorites. But I think with Vrabel, I for sure give them a puncher's chance. I'm seeing a lot of people, I don't know if a lot, but I'm seeing a fair amount being like Seattle's going to blow them out. 4.5, 5-point spread, whatever it's at right now. It's too small. And the reason I'll say no right now is because of Vrabel, truthfully.
Yeah, and it's not like McDonald's not a great coach.
Yeah.
But I think what you hear from everybody, all these guys who are retired now, the Bradys, the Mannings, all these dudes who played in multiple Super Bowls. It's just different. It's just a different preparation, and The thing is, I don't know if you saw this. The GM of the Seahawks. You see this stat? The first GM to ever take a team, the same franchise there with not the same head coach and not any of the same players. Now I don't know about guys on the team and who has experience and playing in the Super Bowl. Like, I don't know how far down the roster you got to go to get a guy with Super Bowl experience. But Mike Vrabel has Super Bowl experience. And I think that's important.
I agree.
From the top, having a coach that has Super Bowl experience and being able to tell your guys, this is what we have to do. I agree with you. I guess I'll see how that line moves as you get closer to the game. But if I had to pick a winner right now, I'm going to pick Seattle. But yeah, I don't think the idea that it's going to be a blowout is that smart.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Especially with 2 weeks to prepare.
Now, look, there's a lot to make of. There's a lot to make of the second game, and obviously you hit on it with a guy who's never been a part of a Super Bowl. As far as Seattle, coach and quarterback combo. I'm not being a hater, but I'm going to say it. I still, because he played great yesterday. Sam Darnold played great yesterday.
Listen.
I know you already know what I'm going to say. I'm still feeling I'm not saying a 3 turnover game. I'm still feeling and by the way, this could also be said for Drake May for sure. But I'm still feeling is Darnold going to make a Darnold move in the Super Bowl?
Well, listen, there was a point in yesterday's game where I said to myself, the Rams' real last hope here is a late Darnold turnover. But I also said to myself, regardless of whether or not that happens, he didn't go Darnold on me.
No, he played great.
But I'm saying, even if he had turned the ball over late and the Rams had won that game, I'm like, bro, you're allowed to have 3 touchdowns, 290-yard passing, 1 turnover games. Like, that's like, I was already on, no matter how this game ends, if it's a Darnold fumble return for a touchdown, I'm not going to be like, he Darnold, because I was like, he played fucking great. And great for Sam Darnold. I mean, like, it just goes to show you, like, the goddamn Jets. That was ruined. He's now playing in the Super Bowl. I mean, he was borderline out of football. He had to go.
Played on 5 different teams.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
He was only drafted in 2018.
Yeah.
He's the first QB that's the wild stat, right? He's the first QB
from the Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, and Josh Rosen, who probably handling people's. I think he's like in the finance world.
Yeah,
money management or something. It is crazy. 5 different teams. Yeah, like you said, the fucking Jets, bro.
First USC quarterback to go to the Super Bowl.
That's an interesting stat.
That's crazy.
It also holds true to
and maybe it might be start a Super Bowl or something. I don't know, but essentially. First,
Matt Castle won some as a backup.
Right.
But it holds true to the big school.
But USC, man, that's crazy.
The history there. That is crazy. OJ never got there. He's not quarterback. OJ never got there. He would have sold that. He would have had to sell that thing anyway.
Yeah.
That Super Bowl ring after the murders.
Imagine if we had to see a big fat Super Bowl ring, and that's why he couldn't get the gloves on. He's just like, can't get over the ring.
If the ring didn't fit, you didn't do the slit. It's so stupid. You know what I love? I got that picture of OJ over here. I'll be on like a Zoom. See what like is that? Or like something
OJ?
like, he'll be like, "Do you have OJ's mugshot in the back of you?" Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys want. I'm obsessed with the OJ stuff. I'm not saying he's a good guy. I'm just obsessed. I didn't like how the game ended. It kind of stunk. I thought it was a little. I wish Puka would have been in bounds. I wish we had like one Hail Mary chance. But this is where you kind of alluded to. We have a big disagreement on coaching decision here. Rams have a 14-play, 80-plus yard drive. Takes over 7 minutes. Comes down to what? It's like the final 5-6 minutes of the game. They're down 4. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs when they have 4th down. Well, within the 7-8 yard line. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. Kick a field goal. Kick a field goal, McVay, because it'll cut the lead to a point. And to me, I think internally, that's a huge difference for players down 1 point versus down 4 or up 4 versus 1. You have Darnold, who has a history of meltdowns. Now, obviously, he hasn't done it this postseason, and he didn't do it yesterday. But put the pressure on that says, hey, man, if we just get another field goal, if we get the ball back and get another field goal, we win. I could not disagree with McVay's reason there to not kick a field goal and try to go for the touchdown.
My reasoning was obviously the touchdown gives you, you're up, you're winning. But also with the amount of time that was left in the game, there was enough time left where you give them the ball, they're deep in their own zone. You can give up a first down. You can give up 2 first downs, I think, and still get the ball back with a chance to go down and win the game. And if they get 2 first downs and then they punt it away, the field position for you is still relatively good. Whereas the way the NFL kickoff is now, you get a halfway decent kick return and you get 2 first downs, you're now kicking a field goal to go up 7. My bigger coaching blunder for Sean McVay, in my personal opinion, was they were down 11 in that game twice and scored touchdowns to pull it to 4 and didn't go for 2 or pull it to 5 essentially, and didn't go for 2 either time to cut it to 3. Either time. I thought they should have done it both times to get it to 3. They certainly should have done it one time to try to get it to 3 because of that exact reason. Now, if you go down there when you're talking about it, that decision's off the table, and Sean McVay obviously kicks it to tie the game up.
Well, I agree with you on both those instances, which to me, again, it almost is contradictory. You're playing the conservative kick the extra point there, but then you're not playing the conservative kick the field goal here in my instance. So I just looked it up. That drive was 14 plays. Where is it? Yeah, 14 plays, 84 yards, took up 7 minutes and 24 seconds. The final play was at 4:59. But what if we talk about momentum a lot? Don't you think mentally, internally for the Rams players, you have a drive that takes half a quarter and you don't get any points? I think if you get points, that's why I'm arguing this. I think the defense goes, okay, they got some fucking points. All we need to do is stop them and get the ball back for a field goal.
Yeah, but I think that the pressure changes where you're like, now we got to stop. Like, we got to stop them right away because the field position and whatever, like, you're putting almost more pressure on your defense instead of your idea that you're putting less pressure on them by being like, oh, if we stop them, we have a chance to win the game. Whereas the way the Rams were moving the ball right up until getting stopped on 4th down there, though, but for the whole quarter, you got to feel like if you get a stop, you got a fairly good chance of just going down and getting a touchdown and winning the game. I was shocked that they didn't get the touchdown to go ahead, obviously. I think Sean McVay has kind of sat on his own nuts a couple times this postseason and in previous postseasons when it comes to those third down and fourth down play calls. For Mr. Offensive Genius, he really does put himself in a position where, I mean, even on that third down that they got the first, or maybe it was a fourth down prior to that. It was a fourth down prior to that, where the first look isn't open, and now you're hoping Matthew Stafford can like get through a tackle on a scramble. Like, I just feel like those plays, to me, it felt like when you watch Belichick do it, the 4th and 3, the 2-point conversion, it wasn't even in doubt. Like, it was like, oh, this is that play that's undefendable.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because he spent too much time with his family.
Sean McVay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been reading a lot. He changed. This is going to lead into the McDonald thing.
Okay.
I read a good story on him on The Athletic, and how basically the whole thing on like how he's changed certain things in the Rams, and how he's like, dude, when I have kids, I decided I'm going to start sleeping more. He said 7 hours a night, which I was shocked to even see. And he said he's got 2 kids. He's got 2. His oldest is 2. He's like, I try to have the same bed schedule as my 2-year-old now. He's like, I want to be around the family more. Like, football is important, but like I can make it work. And definitely in the off season, there's a lot of time to make up. So I saw that, and then we saw the Mike McDonald thing where he says he only sees his kid 30 minutes a week.
Fresh, so it's been helpful.
Okay, hold on.
I actually think I'm here less, which is, I wish some of our coaches took that as well, but on Thursdays, I don't get to see Jack throughout the week as much. So Thursdays I try to get, which is today, I try to get home pretty quick to be with him for maybe a half hour before he goes to bed. And then I got a setup at my house where I can go, and then I work on the game plan. But it's able to spend some more time at home and be with Jack, and also it kind of lets you kind of get away from everything and kind of see things from a different perspective, and it keeps you fresh, So it's.
So this was making its rounds yesterday on social media. I sent it to you. He's talking about his son Jack, 30 minutes a week. So a lot of people were slamming on him, and I agreed with a lot of people, because a lot of people were like, yo, what's up with these football coaches? This isn't the flex you think it is.
Right.
And that's what most people were saying. Like, you think it's like, oh, I'm so ingratiated in the football stuff that I only spend 30 minutes a week with my kid. Everybody's like, dude, you're a shitty dad.
Yeah.
like, because I've seen it from other coaches before. Again, they think it's like a flex. Like, look at me, I'm a man. I just love eat, sleep, and drink football. I don't talk to my wife. I don't talk to my kids. It's like, well, then you're not a good parent.
Right.
Like, come on, man.
And the other thing with this happens with athletes too, and the guys were like, oh, he's just in the gym. Like, he didn't go to Valentine's Day with his wife because they lost. So he spent 6 hours in the gym and blah, 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 blah. And to me, it's always like, it's great. And if they win the Super Bowl, okay, maybe his wife and his son and himself will all feel like this was worth it. But there's also the guys who just like do it normally and have great success. So then you're like, okay, so they're just better than you, I guess. Like,
yeah,
the whole Kobe Bryant thing, like, no one worked harder than Kobe Bryant. It's like, all right, well, I guess the 15 players in NBA history are better than Kobe Bryant, or just like infinitely more talented than, because they didn't work as hard and they're better. Dirk's like, I'm better and I fucking went out drinking with Steve Nash. So I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely been this narrative, especially with somebody like Kobe, of like, he just eats, sleeps, and drinks gym. It's like, yeah, man, you got a bunch of daughters who like want to spend time with you.
Yeah.
And again, it's weirdos take it
And
as
again, he didn't even want to spend time in the car with them, which is why we have to, which is why we're here.
too soon. It's like
3 hours in LA traffic with my daughter. I'd rather be fucking dead.
damn, Praino, guns are blazing today. Yeah, I saw that and I instantly. And by the way, I've had no feelings for him. Like, regardless, I know he's been a great coach so far, McDonald. But I saw that, I was like, yeah, I definitely want you to lose now, bro. Like again, you like trying to flex but not flex, and then I'll just see my kid 30 minutes a week. But it goes back to my point. You remember my point I've made forever? You guys remember the point I've made?
I don't know. The Bengals won't win anything until Mike Brown's dead.
It kind of can ooze into the
right.
discussion.
All right, let's go.
I've always said, because it revolves around somebody like Zach Taylor, who, from what I've seen, is a good father. He spends time with his kids. He shows up at his kids' sports events. My nephew and his kid are going to be going to school together next year and all this. I've said this all along. I don't think you can be a great, we'll use the word great. I think it is tough to be a great football coach and also a good father or a family man or a husband, whatever it is. I sincerely believe that. I'm talking like great. I think it's tough because, yeah, you have to just live that life. I mean, look at Brady's marriage fell apart because he wanted to take a 9-8 Bucs team to the playoffs again.
Yeah.
like that's kind of my theory is it's tough to be a great father or a great coach and a good father. I mean, I'm not trying to dunk on these guys' personal lives, but we've seen bad family situations happen to like an Andy Reid or a Tony Dungy, guys who are winning Super Bowls. Right? Like, that's all I'm saying. And that's my point. Zach Taylor is showing up to his kid's sports event. Zach Taylor is supporting his kids, supporting whatever. Zach Taylor's a mid coach. Mike McDonald is giving his kid, like he's putting his kid on a 30-minute timer. He's taking Sam Darnold in a 14-3 regular season record to the Super Bowl as the favorite.
He's like, who needs kids when you can rejuvenate Sam Darnold's career?
Poor Geno Smith just taking strays left and right yesterday.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, I said it too. I'm like, is Darnold really that different? Apparently he is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you've seen it. People were like, whoa. Geno Smith not only
Geno Smith is getting a little bit of the Goff treatment, It's like they replaced you, they immediately went to the Super Bowl.
And the team that you went to got the number one overall draft pick.
Yeah.
I mean that's worse than the Goff treatment, right? Although did the Lions? No, they didn't get the number one draft pick. But I mean, think about that. Not only did they replace him, the team he went to was the worst team in the whole league. Yeah, man. You can't recover from that. That's that's my boy Tiger King. I don't know how I'm going to financially recover from this. I mean, financially he'll be fine, but
don't bring up that Mina Kimes tweet or else you're a racist and a sexist.
Oh, the old takes exposed.
Yeah.
Dude, I got called a lot of things yesterday for the stuff I posted on Twitter about being stuck in here from women. I'm just like, I'm not even responding to this. Like, you guys can't handle a joke about a girl on her period.
Well, listen, Andy, you got to give those girls a little bit of, leeway. They are also on their periods. So they were, I think tomorrow they'll be like, oh, I went a little hard at Andy in his comments.
True.
You're not allowed to say that in the moment.
No.
It's a bit I've never been able to crack for this very reason because they don't handle it well.
No.
But it's like 3 days after a woman's period. She was like, I was kind of crazy in my period. And you're like, yeah, you were. But in the middle of the period, if you're like, are you on your period? They're like, I'll slit your fucking throat, dog.
I know. It is crazy.
You're not allowed to mention it. I mean, it's basically what Kanye did. I mean, did you see the Kanye thing?
I saw the headline. He put out a
He's basically like, I'm sorry, I was off my meds, and
a thing in the Wall Street Journal.
I'm not like a Nazi or anything. I was just like off my meds. But during the time you say it, and he's like, oh, fuck you. I fucking hate the like swastika here, and I hate this, I hate that. And you're like, all right. And after he's like, it turns out, that's like a woman on her period. It's like, how dare you bring that up to me right now? And then 7 hours later, she was like, bro, I was crazy. I didn't even feel like myself.
Pregnancy too. Like,
remember when I yelled at you?
Like wild. I remember some wild. So what? 2 kids, right? The couple times, like especially the first time when Brittany was pregnant, and was like saying some wild shit leaving to work. But to her credit, it doesn't take her a few days. Like later in the afternoon, she'll be like texting me like, "Yo, I was saying some wild shit walking out to work." I was like, "Yeah, you were." That's why I was just standing at the top of the stairs, like, "Are you possessed?" It's like a demon overtakes a woman's body.
Oh, my sister is famous. She literally we have a name for her meltdowns. She famously melts down. She fucking melts down. When she melts down, it's like scorched earth craziness. We call it a Cedric, which I think I've talked about on this show before. And that's actually a name that we came up with from a Mikey meltdown. We played Hot Shots Golf on like PlayStation back in the day. And one of the, you picked your players, and there was one guy who was like a Rasta dude, and his name was Cedric. And Mikey would always use Cedric, but this time we played, I was the first player, and I took Cedric first. Now, mind you, you can both be Cedric. So it's not like I stole his player. I was just like, I'm going to be Cedric this time. And he flipped out and he punched a hole in the wall. So we call just like a crazy losing of your mind a Cedric. And my sister is known to have a Cedric. I talked to my brother-in-law about it one time, because the thing about my sister is like, if you're married to my sister, like you must have to deal with this like all the time. So I said to him, I was like, Tony, how do you deal?
How do you deal with Cedric?
I go, how do you deal with a Cedric? I'd love to know, because like you got to deal with this more than anyone. He's like, oh, it's a great question. He's like, the first time it happened, I like fought back and was like, you're being ridiculous right now. And he's like, I learned that's not. He's like, that's not the approach. Like there was no reasoning with her. I was like, yeah, bro, that's crazy. And he's like, now I kind of just go full turtle in a shell. Like I just like lock up and go full turtle in a shell and just try to like weather the storm. And then I don't say anything. And then usually like 6 hours later, she'll like apologize. And I was like, yeah, you should marry her, dude. Like that's a good strategy.
That's true.
I was like, true. I've never been able to do that. Like, you know me, like I'm Mr. like fighting the comments guy. Like,
oh yeah, no, but that is the move. It's tough though. It's really tough. It's true. That's the easiest thing to do is walk away. But it's also the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, I can't do it. I've never been able to do it. I've never been able to do that. But he could do it. So I was like, oh, you guys are like a match.
Oh, yeah.
Just you being like, so now I just do that. I just like eat shit until she's done and like hold my tongue. And then like a day later, she'll like apologize. I'm like, all right, good for you, dude. Safe plan for sure. You'll survive. You'll literally live to see another day.
No, you're not getting your testicles slit off in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Or your house burned down with you inside it.
Yeah. I mean, didn't Left Eye from TLC, didn't she burn down Andre Rison's house?
Yeah.
I mean, women are nuts, dude. Like, that was the thing, and everybody has forewarned me. That was the thing about my post yesterday on Twitter. People are like, yo, you got 2 girls that are like that close in age. Wait until they're both on their period together in high school. And everybody has warned me, like, yo, good luck, man. Good luck. You got like a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old, and they're at their periods are synced up, and you're just sitting at home, and like, you fucked, bro.
That was one of the first bits I ever wrote. I never really got it to work. Again, we're not allowed to joke about women's periods.
No.
They think they'll laugh to the fact that LOL, I stabbed you. But we're not allowed to be like, you stabbed me. One of my original jokes was like, I wish there was a way to know which WNBA teams were currently on their synced periods. I was like, I just want to go heavy betting on like, the Liberty on their periods plus the points. I was like, you're telling me like anybody's grabbing rebounds from like 5 chicks for all synced periods? Like,
good point.
It's just like a team that's just like 3 Draymonds and 2 Dennis Rodmans.
Yeah. No, that makes total sense. So the rule I love, the stat I love, holds up again another year. It might be my favorite Super Bowl stat. That no team, coach/player, has ever won a Super Bowl after 5 years, their first 5 years together. I mean, it holds up. So
how was that in this one?
This is year 1 of Drake May and Mike Vrabel. This is year 1 of Sam Darnold and Mike McDonald.
Right. But we only for the championship games, we only had a coach and quarterback who've done it together, these two, and then a coach and quarterback who've been together for like 2 years, right? So kind of no matter what, it would have
held up.
Yeah.
But it's just dude, I'm telling you, this stat, we've said it, we've talked about it. You either have to decide on the QB or the coach after 5 years. If you don't win a Super Bowl, you have to decide on the QB and the coach. Ravens were a prime example. Bills were a prime example. They both chose the QB. Now, the Bills case makes sense. Ravens, not so much, in my opinion. Right? So, I'm telling you, though, that stat, I think, here's why I love that stat so much. I think it's just such a great stat because it shows, dude, you got 5 years to win this, the partnership, if you have your franchise QB.
Well, it's what it kind of proves is like, because obviously not everyone was like first year coach or first year quarterback or anything like that. Like for example, McVay and Stafford comes over, he's been in the league X amount of time. But what it proves is when you pair a coach and a quarterback, you will know pretty quickly if this is long-term or not. And basically in any situation where it's not coach gets a veteran QB, knowing in the first 5 years whether this is something you should stick with is like, I mean, that's when rookie quarterbacks finally get through their option thing. Like if you have a coach, like for example, Jackson Dart and Harbaugh will now have 4 years before Jackson Dart's has to be signed.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
But that's also the point where if you're there, right, you have to capitalize, right? If you're in year 1 of a McVay, Stafford, you're in year 2 of a Burrow, Zach Taylor, you're in year 1 of Drake May and Vrabel, or conversely with McDonald and Darnold. Like when you're there, because we all know it's so difficult to get back.
Yeah.
It's just so hard to get back. You have to capitalize. I love that stat because it's one that, again, it's not just a random willy-nilly stat. And that's why who you hire matters. And that's why the Steelers are idiots for hiring Mike Boob McCarthy.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. And listen, before we move on to that, and I feel like we have a lot of stuff to talk about these games, maybe a little bit, and the game going forward or whatever. But we can certainly pivot into the most ridiculous hire maybe ever. But coming into this year is this McDonald's second year there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So coming into this year, like they were a nice little team last year, and a lot of people were really high on them. And you can go back if you want Joe Praino dunk stuff. I feel like you guys always go for the wrong things, but I don't know exactly what I said, but I wasn't like, oh yeah, the Seahawks this year. Like I was very down on the ludicrous people that thought the Cardinals were going to be good. So obviously I thought Seattle was going to be better than them. But I would bet anything I went, Rams, Niners, Seahawks in the division. I bet anything I went Rams, Niners, Seahawks. And obviously all those teams had good years, but it just goes to show you year 2 in the Super Bowl, like you got to give credit. Now he doesn't see his family or talk to them at all, but like fucking great coach. I mean, immediately jumps you into great coach in the league, conversation. I'm not saying greatest, but you're right.
Well, in his resume,
you jump up there so quickly.
Let's not forget, he was the DC of Baltimore. His last year in Baltimore, remember how stacked?
Yeah.
Number 1 D, fewest points given up, 2023, the infamous Lamar bad playoff game, AFC Championship. He comes to Seattle. By year 2, they give up the fewest amount of points. So I mean, he's built these defenses everywhere he's been. And yeah, it definitely catapults him right up there.
Unlike Mike McCarthy, who somehow gets hired by Pittsburgh. I mean, was his stopover in Dallas anything but trash?
Pittsburgh's had 3 coaches in their entire history, right? It's well documented. We all know it. All 3 of those coaches were young up-and-comers.
Mm-hmm.
Who you might take a few lumps. Now, you didn't with Tomlin, but you might take a few shit seasons, which is probably good so you can get a decent quarterback. But you've hired the white, and I would say he's not as good, but the white version of Mike Tomlin. So now the Steelers are going to go back to 9-8, 10-7 seasons where they don't do anything, and they're just still in no man's land for a quarterback.
Or are they in no man's like? That's the crazy question with this whole thing. Was this a Aaron Rodgers play?
It's the stupidest thing ever. If it was,
it's the stupidest thing ever. He played awful. Everybody thinks.
Well, he didn't play awful. See, I would say they
played awful in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. His age showed he had a terrible playoff game. And he's done. It's fine. He's done.
He's done.
He's done.
And the other part of it isn't Mike McCarthy the reason people think Aaron Rodgers doesn't have more Super Bowls?
For the most part, smart people, everybody but Terry Bradshaw.
And now we're repairing these people together?
I don't think he's coming back, man.
But I'm asking you, was that part of the thing?
I mean, if it was a terrible decision,
or was it? I can't imagine they think that the relationship's so bad that this is the reverse. That this is how not to get Aaron Rodgers to come back. Because is Aaron Rodgers even under contract?
No, he's not. Again, with their history, they've made the right decision 3 times. Now it's tough to nail all 3 and then nail all 4. Like, it's tough. But like I said, right, there were a fair amount of what at least people were deeming good perspective up-and-coming coaches. You're just going with the safe hire. Like, they're not going to be a dumpster fire. You know this. They're like they shouldn't. They probably won't be a dumpster fire, but there's nothing exciting. It's not that new up-and-coming DC.
I'll say it. I don't think they're going to be good. I don't think they'll be a middle of the road team. I think Mike McCarthy is an awful hire. I think best case scenario, Aaron Rodgers comes back. Worst case scenario, and by the way, best case scenario, Aaron Rodgers come back. They're not going to be as good as they were this year. They got extremely lucky this year with the Burrow injury and the Lamar injury. They won't be as good as they were this year, unless, of course, they somehow go out and manage to find a proven quarterback to come in and play, which I don't know who that is out there. And by the way, when you look at the idea that, oh, well, Sam Darnold is in the Super Bowl, Mike McCarthy ain't fixing some, broken quarterback. Mike McCarthy's not taking Russell Wilson back to the fucking Steelers and being like, let me get a shot with him.
Well, like you said, I don't even know who that is. Just thinking of available quarterbacks or possible available quarterbacks. I mean, look, the Ravens again. I would applaud what they did. Yeah, we're gonna hire one of the up and coming DCs. Again, it might not work out year 1 or year 2. Sometimes it takes a minute. The thing about a Mike McCarthy hire is the ceiling with him. We know it because we've seen it for 15, 16, 17 years, right? We know the ceiling.
The Super Bowl, if he gets a generational quarterback and before his massive contract is due.
Like, that's the ceiling. And that run, let's not forget that run. Remember that playoff run?
Yeah, they were 6th seed.
They're 10-6, man. They were just putting up points. It had nothing to do with Mike McCarthy's plays. Aaron Rodgers just caught on fire, which a lot of these guys do. What is that? Year 5, year 6. A lot of these guys just at that point they catch on fire. The generational guys. That's the same Packers coach, who they're going 15-1 and not making Super Bowls, which to me is on the coach. It's awful high. It's disappointing, to be honest, because the Steelers usually are like, oh, how's this going to play out? Right? That's how it happened with Tomlin. You're like, who's this guy? Well, he has Pittsburgh.
I don't know. Here's the thing with Pittsburgh. They let Tomlin do it for a long time with the whole fucking 9-8 shit, 8-8 shit, 10-7 shit, 10-6 shit. Maybe that's just like stability for them. They're like, we can't take a swing on a guy that might win 4 games. We got to take a swing on a guy because look at him. He went to Dallas. He won 8 games. Went to Dallas. He won 9 games. And which my answer would be, he's just older and you don't have a quarterback. I actually think they're going to be bad. I'll put them behind at least the Ravens and the Bengals next year. The Browns, who can say? They're still the Browns. Although
you see nobody wants to coach them.
Shedeur Sanders made a Pro Bowl.
I don't even get me started about that.
I've tweeted this is the equivalent of every Derek Jeter Gold Glove.
That's hilarious. Did you see every coach just keeps withdrawing their name?
Yeah.
All these young offensive coaches, defensive coaches, the coordinators. Nobody wants that job.
You've been to Cleveland, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So.
Well, outside of that, 15 different quarterbacks. One is on a massive contract. And the whole, sexual assault, rape thing. There's that too. Yeah, they're a dumpster fire, dude. I made my first Bengals bet.
They're a dumpster fire that's floating down a river that's on fire. The dumpster is separate fires. Separate fires.
By the way, I already made my first Bengals bet for next year.
Let's go.
My buddies.
Please tell me Justin's.
No, it's not Justin. Justin did reach out to me. He's like, I was like, I know you haven't forgot, man. I'm just busting your chops. But seriously, I'm going to send you into collections. No, I had a buddy send me something yesterday. This it's brilliant. I mean, I'm telling you it's amazing how these fan bases get turned. He sent me an article from the Bengals' own website, Bengals.com, how their new look, I don't even know what it meant. It was something like their new look personnel for drafting. And he's like, oh, Ravens have a new coach. Steelers have a new coach. The Browns are the Browns.
You have an old coach.
I said, yeah, bet me right.
Devil you know is better than the devil you don't, I guess.
He's like, let's bet. Or I was like, let's bet. Let's run it back. $100. He's talking a lot of shit, and then he doesn't finalize. And like later on in the night, last night, I was like, "So we doing this? Yeah, let's do it." I'm like, dude, I've
been talking about this forever. And if there's, I know, what did you start at one point? A dating app? Were you trying to start didn't you have an app design? I
was trying to create a dating app. Yeah.
Can somebody who's into coding and app building reach out? Here's what I want. I want a betting app escrow fund. So when you make the bet, you pony up the money. And then that money gets settled and it gets sent to the one person.
Well, that is very similar to what those pick 6 and pick 7s I was in. Now, this year, the payout is weekly. It used to be, that's how it was. You ponied up the money. It was put into escrow. All the winnings were released at the end of the year. So if you won week 6 or week 8, it's released at the end of the year.
Yeah, but somebody's managing that and putting it. I'm saying this is more of a just like I can deposit. It goes in here. I can see it. I can check on it.
But who's releasing the money?
What's that?
Who's releasing the money?
Well, when you set it, you set also what the wager is, and you have the people on the side. So then when Bengals do not win division hits, it's like, well, that guy gets all these funds.
Okay.
It's like how Kalshi, when I made my money on Harbaugh, I just put it in, and it was like, when settled, you get paid. And it was like when he had the press conference that they're like, it's a fish. Here's your money. I was like, thanks.
Can we talk about this Cooper Kupp catch last night?
Yeah, let's do it. And the reason I think we need an app like that, by the way, is for all the pieces of shit that we've had on the show through the years. Zach, whatever, from fucking Miami, and he who shall not be named, that I imagine is just now shooting women in the face as part of ICE or something like that.
I have a feeling he's somewhere overseas.
He's just dumb enough, though, to be here with a mask on, stealing children, isn't he?
Oh, well, okay, Andy. Have fun in your Cincinnati apartment. I got a $50,000 bonus, and I get to kidnap children.
I don't think he's. I think he's big enough. I think those women would kidnap him. Those children. He was a little dude. Those children would kidnap him. I'm serious. He was a little guy. That's why I was like, bro, I'm an old man. I'll beat your ass in basketball. I'm a little guy too. I'm a little guy. You're making me feel big. You're making me feel like when I go against Praino, like I'm a little guy. So I don't understand. We talked about it at length last week, and then for some reason it didn't get as much attention this week. Everybody was focused on did he or didn't he make the first down, this Cooper Kupp play. I believe this was the final drive, right?
Yep.
My thing was, why is this a catch based on everything we saw the last 2 weeks? Let's pull it up.
I said it. I tweeted it. I said you have to survive the ground lasted all of 1 week.
I don't understand.
No one understands. No one will understand.
Let's just watch Stevie got this.
So like, here's where his shoulder went down and whatever. Watch. I'm like, okay, but
okay, shoulder goes down here.
The ground.
The ball falls right out.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's not a fumble.
Watch this.
But
it's not a fumble, it's an incomplete pass.
Right. But I'm saying and that's my question. If that had come out, if that ball had come out right there and the other guy had ended up with it before it hits the ground, is that an interception? Because it feels like the answer has to be consistent. If the ball had come out there and the other guy had ended up with it, it would have been an interception. But it comes out, it's not an incompletion. By the way, this happened on one of JSN's catches on the sideline as well, where he didn't survive the ground and they gave it to him. This is again. And by the way, to me, just for all the people that are like, oh, ref stuff. To me, I'd be way more upset about this. Just like as again, no rooting interest in any of these games for real. Like, sure, I'm pulling for the Chiefs, I'm pulling for the Rams, but like, I don't care. I did not think about the fact that the Rams lost for 1 second yesterday. I wasn't like, oh no, the fucking Seahawks in the Super Bowl. I don't care. So I'd be way more upset about that as a innocent bystander than I was by the Stidham toss fumble.
Again, it's just it's bizarre too that they weren't really even talking about it during the game
or reviewed it. Really.
Again, it was more of the first down, and then McVay. The whole thing was weird. He called
a timeout, but he didn't throw a challenge because they told him not to, or they were like, it's not reviewable.
Yeah, and he only had one timeout left at that point.
Yeah. Well, also, just don't call the timeout then. Just throw the challenge. If you're going to call the timeout anyway, why don't you just throw the challenge?
Yeah. I just, based on every...
Because then you get the timeout back if you get it right.
Yeah, well, based on everything we've seen, again, I don't know how that's a catch. Because he didn't keep it after he hit the ground.
Right.
So I just don't understand how that's a catch.
Well, listen, the problem is I understand how it's a catch. I understand how it's a catch. How it's a catch is he caught it, and the ball didn't come out until he hit the ground. I get it. That's a catch. That's what I always thought that was a catch. Until last week when it wasn't a catch. Then I was like, wait, that's not a catch? Since when is that not a catch? But I guess also the Dez caught it, but did he? The Megatron play? I don't know. This is the issue here, right, Andy, is consistency. We actually don't, neither of us care about what the rule is. Just consistency to the rule.
Yeah, that's all we're asking. It's not that hard. And this will probably come up again in the Super Bowl. Was it a catch? Wasn't it a catch? There'll be a play. Everyone will debate it. You're going to get even more people online because people are watching the game.
Hammered the Cooper Cup over yesterday, though. Over receiving yards Cooper Cup. So
what was that?
Didn't hate it. I got it at like 37.
Oh, yeah. I guess his former team?
Yeah, exactly.
Where he was the MVP of the Super Bowl?
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good move. That was a good move.
Yeah.
That would have been a good play. I think it's going to be a good game, man. I think Super Bowl's going to be a good game.
I do too.
I think, I don't know where I stand right now. But I think it'll be a good game. I like variable. I don't know. I'm probably rooting for the Patriots.
Well, and we talked about this last night. You're rooting for the Patriots, and not only that, a former Seahawks. This is really,
I was a Russell
Seahawks
Wilson guy.
Pats fan.
I was a Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll guy.
Let me ask you, who are you rooting for in the last Seahawks Pats Super Bowl?
I can tell you, I was actually thinking about that last night. I was rooting for the Patriots.
Okay.
My Russ love had not fully been developed yet.
It really developed after he threw that Super Bowl away?
It actually did. It's crazy to sound. I was like, because as a quick reminder, the Patriots hadn't won one in like 10 years. I've always been a big Brady Belichick guy. So I was like, oh, let's get the Patriots another Super Bowl.
Funny enough, I would guess I was rooting for the Seahawks. And kind of the start of my Russ hate, really. How you throw that fucking pick there, dog?
Well, more importantly, you lose the game and Marshawn doesn't get it. That it is what it is. Why don't you just fucking run the ball?
Well, and hence, a big thing, which is, a real thing was a lot of people when I started talking about my started poking holes in the Russ, resume. All the dirt balls that love Russ were coming at me and being like, "But you suck off Eli Manning." I don't care if Kevin Gilbride, what Kevin Gilbride called. Eli Manning's like, "Nah, okay, 59's the mic. Check. Fuck. Hand the ball off. We win the Super Bowl." Don't be a fucking. I don't give a shit what you came up with.
Yeah. Well, again, I think it'll be a good game. I don't know. Like, my early consensus is that the team with the least amount. I mean, this is not rocket science, guys. The team with the least amount of turnovers wins. I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if there isn't both a turnover from each quarterback, at least one. I'd be shocked because the defenses are good enough. Here's the thing, man. The Rams D has been suspect. They've been suspect for a while now.
Well, listen, also,
I think the Patriots have a better defense.
One thing I want to talk about, the Patriots have a better defense than the Seahawks?
No, than the Rams. Much better, especially their secondary.
I was going to say, that was a pretty high-scoring game. Like, at this point, you can't really count on the Seahawks to just, like, be... I mean, I know it's the Rams and it's Matt Stafford and it's McVay, but, like, again, we talk about these great defenses and what they do. Just like none of these defenses are the Legion of Boom or the 2000 Ravens or the 85 Bears or anything like that. Like I think going into the game and thinking that like, the Seahawks are going to pitch a shutout is not going to happen.
Well, look, man, as far as the Rams story, it goes back to week 16. They blew a 2-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter against the Seahawks. Then they end up not getting the 1 seed. Yesterday, the guy muffs the punt. That's the difference in the game.
Also, that was crazy too. I know that's happening fast. I know we do the slow motion thing. I hate to say it. I hate to go back to coaching special teams is like teaching special ed. Once you trip, you don't have to catch that ball.
You jump out of bounds.
I mean, I know it's happening pretty fast, but like the second I was falling backwards, I would have done the like, I hope this doesn't bounce into me. I'm going to twist, but I hope it doesn't bounce into me.
Sure.
He went to, I'm going to catch this.
Falling down.
Yeah.
Yeah. You sure about that?
Yeah. That was like one of those, like you're in the shower and you're cleaning your feet. You got one foot up. You're soaping the other foot. You put that second foot down, now soapy. You drop that soap. Maybe you just don't try to catch. Just let the soap fall, because this could go wrong real fast.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Difference in that game. They scored a touchdown right away. Go up 11. But that that was the problem all year. They fired their special teams coach after the last Seattle game. And that was their down. I mean, again, that's where the good teams don't have that. The great teams, I should say. They don't fuck up special teams.
And yet they still had a chance to win that game. And
we saw, I mean, we saw the Broncos. The field goal misses. It's gotta suck to be a Broncos fan with that whole Nix injury. That's a completely different game if Bo Nix is in there.
Sure.
He's definitely not doing the two-hand. I saw somebody with a great tweet. Somebody wrote, that's how my wife tosses me the remote.
It looked like playing catch with your kid for the first time.
Like, yeah.
And they're like, huh? It's like, no, turn and like do that. And they're like, yeah, ball.
It sucks because like you only get a guy like him is that's your chance. That's like your one chance. That's your one chance. Your entire career. Even if you don't win, like to make a few plays, you made the one pass, that was about it. It's your one chance.
One chance. Just one chance.
Cue up 8 Mile. It's like you gotta do something, man. Well, here we are. Sam Darnold in the Super Bowl.
I mean, can we agree on one thing? Like, and I get that you're a Pats fan out there, and I can get that you're a Seattle fan out there, and you're as turned as you've ever been for anything. I am not that excited for the Super Bowl.
I'm not either. I don't know.
It's exciting that you don't know who's going to win, but it just feels like we did all this.
Let me put it this way for the casuals. I said it's going to be Seattle. I said it's going to Seahawks and Patriots last night. And Brittany goes, I can't name a single player on either team. That's boring. And I was like, you see, I was like, but there's a lot of you out there where like you, if I said Rams, she would know. She'd definitely know Stafford. She'd know McVay. It's like, yeah, it definitely doesn't have the sex appeal. I was really hoping, because I think, I always thought about it. I think Stafford's so disrespected. I was just hoping him to get another Super Bowl. Some of these awful takes out there in his career. He can really zip that ball around. I mean, the way he can still throw the ball, sling that ball around is amazing.
And he's still only 36.
37.
37? It's not like he's done.
No.
Unless he wants to be.
You really want to go back to that?
What do you mean?
His wife. You really want to go home to that?
Oh, yeah.
And he's got how many? Doesn't he have like 4 or 5 girls?
I have no idea.
Yeah. He's got all girls. Take it from a dude who's got 2 girls. Like, you really want to go home to that? Now, when you have that much money, it's different. They can each have their own wing. Like, hey, this is Cindy's wing of the house. This is Sasha's, whatever it is.
I want to do a breakdown. You got me intrigued now. I'd like to see the gender child breakdown of Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. I don't know. Girl dad? Sus.
His 4 daughters.
4 daughters. Mix up positions, Matt.
Sawyer, Chandler, Hunter, and Tyler.
Jesus Christ. What are they? A fucking...
Sounds like a Friends episode.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Those are some white people names.
That's some white people names. That sounds like the fucking, the leads in a Hallmark movie. When Chandler comes back to his hometown and meets Leanne, who runs the Christmas tree farm. But little does he know, his best friend Sawyer.
Oh, man, I'm looking at it. He's got all these little girls. What do you think his escape is? Just football?
Yeah.
Like, besides that, does he have one at home?
I don't even think he fucks around with it, because I think he's just like, don't look them in the eyes. She's like, Daddy's got to go play catch with Cooper Kupp again. And they're like, for the 40th time this week? He's like, that's how you become a champion. You want to move back to Detroit?
Kobe had all girls, too.
Yeah.
It is interesting. The ones who just have all girls. When I say interesting, like 3 or more to me, it's like, every time just a chick.
Let's talk about it, Andy. What positions are we using for? Do we know? Do we have any idea what conception positions we were in?
I've heard a lot of this stuff is bullshit.
Okay.
Probably missionary, or like front facing, a version of that.
That's what they say. That's why they say you get a girl. It is. That's what they say. They say you want her face down and drive deep if you want a boy, because they're shorter swimmers. They're sprinters.
Then you got me thinking about my dad driving my mom deep down.
I know.
Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?
Face down, ass up. That's the way Walt likes to vote.
I remember when Elliot's friends at one of the corn roasts was over. Black dude. And he was like, what was Marvin saying? And my dad just thinking, my dad's like on the grill, or just he's like, yo, Walt, you's a pimp. 5 boys. And he just keeps saying, like, Walt, you's a pimp. My dad's like flipping burgers, like, yeah, hey, Marvin.
Indeed, pimping over here, Marvin. Thank you.
Oh, what would you like on your corn, Marvin? Would you like some pork chops? Walt, you's a pimp, Five Boys. Call him Walt a pimp. Walt has no clue what he's saying.
Walt's like, I'm over here cooking sausage. I bet you are, Walt. Fucking sausage slinging pimp over there. Walt, the sausage king of Chicago. Fucking Abe Froman ass over here.
You telling me all these athletes are they're nothing? They're just going missionary or front facing?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I wonder if there is anything to that. My neighbor said something interesting to me once, which I was like, caught me off. She's like, doesn't seem like the woman who would say this. Like, just nice woman. She's got 3 kids. They're older. They're teenagers in their early 20s, and we were laughing about having 2 girls, and she's never said like doesn't swear. Just that's why like this caught me off guard. She's like, there are tricks to having boys. And I was like, but she was like alluding to sexual stuff, but like not like hitting on me, but it was like, yeah, if you and Brittany want to know, like I got 3 boys. And I was like, yo, what's Miss Kimberly talking about?
She's like, if you need to use the swing in our garage. Like, whoa. Take it easy.
Yeah, like what are we talking about here? I don't know. You already know I'm a chat GPT that shit.
Yeah. It's too bad my dad's gone. I'd be like, so you got 3 and then you mixed it up and got a girl. What are we talking about here? How'd this play out exactly?
Talk to me, Dad.
I'm just doing the Top Gun right now.
I was just going to reference it. Talk to me, Goose.
Hanging on my fucking dog tags. Doggy style tags. Dad.
You mind you want to wrap it up? Say
sure.
For the next episode?
Sure. We got so much coming up in the next couple of weeks. We're going to have, obviously, at some point, we'll have our props betting. We'll have our Super Bowl picks. We'll have all kinds of things. So we can wrap it up. I know you didn't have anything else you wanted to talk about besides the NFL and what position Walt might have been having sex with your mom in. So
no, I did have something, but I'm going to kick it to. I had the recall. I told you before the show, the announcer thing. I'll kick that to next episode.
Okay.
That might be an in-depth discussion. It will be.
Okay.
Ranking our favorite color football announcers.
And I'm going to throw this out there. I'm going to throw this out there to the dirt balls that can slide into DMs or make a call. The hotline is obviously open as always, 859-832-0478. So I'll be gone for my honeymoon for 2 weeks, end of February into early March. I leave the 25th of February and I come back the 10th of March. I think I'll miss 3 episodes or maybe 4. I think it's 3. It feels like maybe we would have to do a pre-record in there. And I was thinking maybe we could do some sort of, themed episode. So if you have ideas, like the first thing that came to mind is like each of our top X sports moments of our lifetime or something like that. I'll leave it with that as my example. And if you guys have something that you'd like to hear specifically, or maybe it's something that we do, something that doesn't have to take up the full episode, but something that is evergreen that we could record now and drop on maybe one of the Mondays when I'm gone. Let us know. Call the hotline or slide in the DMs if you've got a cool topic that you think could take out a chunk.
Yeah, for sure. Joe and I have talked about that. So 859-832-0478.
And I know there's also talk, if you get calling in some of the old subs just in case, but that'd be a fun thing to do. Pre-record some content.
Yeah, I got some ideas too. I mean, we might really have to go down the pizza quarterback rankings. Like top.
Listen, we're Sam Darnold right now. That's before we go. Super Bowl Sam Darnold. This is we have to recap. We have to recategorize him. It's crazy that we're a year removed from him just having the worst fucking meltdown in the playoffs.
He is.
Where's
nice
Super Bowl Sam Darnold?
He's a nice cheese pizza from. Okay, I'll give a local. You guys aren't going to get it, but like a good local spot. Like for me, right by us here, Raimundo's. You're good cheese from Raimundo's.
I'm going to make this very specific. I think Sam Darnold is a cheese pizza from a local spot, but specifically the spot that does like the biggest pizza, and you order it. You're like, you know what? We got to order Raimundo's or whatever. It's like Super Bowl. We're gonna have 12 people over here. I need a couple of those big ass pizzas. Sam Darnold is that cheese pizza you order for the Super Bowl. Apparently, you're like, we can't order Domino's. It's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm not going fancy. It's a fucking Super Bowl. I'm gonna have 12 people there. I need a solid pizza that's gonna deliver. And let's hope.
And I'll tell you what,
delivery guy who brings it pizzas for a 12-person Super Bowl party does not flip it upside down and get into an accident on the way here, and the cheese is all on the fucking roof of the thing. Because we still do not know. We don't know what we're getting from Sam Darnold.
And if he wins, we all know how much I love those. Raimundo's does the Uncle Frank's spicy Italian sausage.
No one knows about that because you just told us about Raimundo's for the first time.
I'm just saying, like that's what I like. Like that's one of my go-to toppings there.
So you're saying there's a chance we're a Super Bowl, we're a Sam Darnold Super Bowl win away from him getting upgraded to a sausage topped Raimundo's.
But they deem it, they market it as it's a special from it's Uncle Frank's special recipe. It's his spicy Italian sausage, and it's got a kick to it. Like not everybody can handle it. Just like not many people will be able to mentally handle Sam Darnold winning a Super Bowl. Yeah. That's what I would vouch for.
The Drake May Sam Darnold pizza rankings, just waiting to be determined.
I don't know what Drake May is right now.
I don't either.
His playoffs have been mid, but also he's made plays when he's had to.
Drake May right now might be like a 2-topping thin crust from Domino's. Where you're like, bro, like if you dropped one in front of me, I am eating it.
Yeah.
I'm like, and sometimes I'm even craving it.
That's true.
Little fucking Domino's thin crust meat lovers going immediately for one of those corners, which is like, a Drake May slippery 12-yard rushing TD. Like, oof, this corner kind of hits.
Dude.
Now, would I serve it to guests? You know
what the problem is? Every time we do this, every time we do the pizza,
you just want pizza.
I just want to order some pie. I'm just like, tonight I was gonna whip up some of those frozen Trader Joe's orange chicken, which sounds good too. But like, man.
Oh, Andy, you know what we should do since we're talking about it? If one of our evergreen content is pizza rankings, we should have pizzas while we do it. And you should just bring your pizza and I'll bring my pizza and we'll talk about what pizzas we're bringing. Which is insane because I'll probably have to call Gabby, hope she's not mid-Cedric, and see if she can ship me something from New York.
That's hilarious, mid-Cedric. Anything else?
That's it. Come see a show, joepraino.com/shows. On a fun run. I go through such an emotional roller coaster with stand-up. Sometimes I hate it so much and sometimes I love it. Really, really enjoying it right now. Doing some new stuff and trying to get some things in order and having fun. So come out and see a show, joepraino.com/shows. And bunch of stuff coming up in a bunch of different places: Colorado, Tokyo, up in the Bay, Cincinnati, New York, Southern California. Come see a show.
Cool. Yeah, man. June 13th. I'm making the return to comedy. Let's go. All right, guys. Thanks for
Those
listening.
tickets are available, by the way, right now.
Okay, they are.
So if you're a dirtball and you're in Greater Cincinnati and you want to go, nothing, and this is true from a stand-up. Take this to heart from a stand-up. Nothing makes clubs happier than if I start selling tickets to a show in June right now. They're gonna be like, somebody just bought tickets to the Joe Praino show in June. So if you're trying to support the show and you're thinking you're gonna come, get them now.
Yeah, that is very true. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on Friday. Have a great week. And as always, stay dirty.